We are living in an age where almost every moment is placed online. Birthdays, coffee cups, weekend trips, even sadness itself is lifted into the light, softened by filters that make pain look beautiful. Life has become a gallery, and everyone is expected to contribute. This creates a strange pressure. If an experience is not posted, many people feel as if it never fully happened. Visibility becomes proof of existence. But in the middle of this constant display stands a quiet contrast. A small group stays nearly invisible. They watch, they read, they follow the lives of others, yet they keep their own world sealed away from the timeline. Their silence is not emptiness, it is intention. And that raises the central question: why choose the shadows when the world is chasing the spotlight? For some individuals, this quiet is not a personality choice, but a survival strategy shaped in childhood. A learned belief that safety comes from remaining unnoticed. Once we understand that some individuals learn safety through invisibility, the common misunderstandings about people who rarely post online become easier to see. They are often labeled as strange, cold, distant, intensely introverted, or simply uncomfortable with attention. From the outside, it appears as if they do not care, as if they are too lazy to share, or as if their lives lack anything worth mentioning. Inside, the reality is very different. Many of them feel deeply and think with remarkable intensity. They simply do not choose to reveal these inner movements in front of a crowd. Some are lively, humorous, and expressive in person, yet remain almost silent in the online world. This habit can trace back to childhood moments when showing themselves led to pain, criticism, or dismissal. Silence became the safer path. And that is why simple labels like introverted or shy fail to capture the true depth of their quiet. Much of the misunderstanding around quiet online behavior becomes clearer when we look at what silence actually offers a person. Not posting does not mean a life without stories. It means taking full ownership over what the world is not entitled to know. In a digital landscape where every photo and sentence can be saved, resurfaced, or misinterpreted, staying quiet becomes a way to reduce exposure and protect oneself. This mirrors the earlier idea that silence often has depth, not emptiness. Many individuals want to preserve parts of their life that they do not want judged, compared, or discussed. Protecting those moments gives them a steady sense of control, the reassurance that some experiences belong entirely to them. For people raised in homes marked by unpredictability, harsh criticism, or strict control, managing information in adulthood becomes a crucial source of emotional safety. Online silence becomes a personal boundary, a protective wall that allows them to say, "This piece of my life is mine alone," untouched and unquestioned. The dynamics of online silence become even clearer when we examine how modern platforms push people toward performance. Digital systems reward constant visibility. The more someone appears, the more attention they receive, and the more the algorithm elevates them. This creates a cultural demand to always be interesting, to produce a lovely moment each day, to craft a story worthy of display. Daily life quietly turns into a stage. It is no longer enough to experience something. One must prove it happened by showing it. Every post becomes a subtle test of identity. This is who I am. This is the version I hope you will find acceptable. And here, the trauma thread emerges sharply. For individuals who grew up with conditional love, where being obedient earned warmth and showing real emotion brought punishment, This digital stage feels like a reenactment of childhood. The fear of rejection returns. The pressure to perform returns. The belief that authenticity is unsafe returns. For many, stepping away from this culture is not indifference. It is self-protection, a conscious refusal to continue playing the role they were forced to master as children. And once we understand how performance culture can reopen old wounds, the inner world of people who rarely post becomes easier to appreciate. They are often careful observers. Instead of rushing to add their voice, they pay close attention to how others think, react, and move through conversation. Their focus is on understanding before speaking. They also tend to have a strong introspective nature. Much of their energy goes inward, exploring emotions, motives, and subtle shifts within themselves. Research consistently shows that people who post less are less dependent on social comparison and external approval. Their sense of worth is not governed by likes or digital validation. Their attention leans toward the question, "Who am I really?" rather than, "Who do others want me to be?" For many, this depth was shaped in childhood, when they had to soothe themselves and process emotions alone, because no adult felt safe enough to confide in. Their silence is not emptiness. It is the surface of a layered inner world that does not need an audience to feel real. After exploring how a deep inner world shapes their behavior, another pattern becomes clear. Many quiet individuals long for honesty in a space built on performance. Scrolling online often feels like walking through a stage gallery. Everything is edited, arranged, filtered, polished until it no longer resembles real life. This manufactured beauty can feel exhausting, especially for those who crave sincerity. Quiet individuals are highly sensitive to inauthenticity. They notice instantly when what is shown has drifted away from truth and turned into performance. They do not reject technology. They simply do not recognize themselves in spaces that demand constant polishing. Some grew up in homes where they had to pretend they were fine to keep the peace. So the idea of performing again for strangers feels unbearable. They keep their most honest self offline, protecting it from being shaped by someone else's expectations. After understanding their longing for authenticity, another pressure of the online world becomes visible: the rise of performance living. Many people slowly realize they are guided more by the question, "Is this worth posting?" than by, "How do I truly feel right now?" The moment beauty appears, the first instinct is to record it, caption it, and package it, rather than allow the body to fully experience it. Positive reactions only tighten the cycle, creating pressure to make the next moment prettier, louder, more dramatic. Life becomes a competition with one's own digital image while the inner world grows tired. Quiet individuals step away from this race. They refuse to perform a version of themselves that must always be impressive. For those who once felt never good enough in childhood, the demand to constantly prove value to strangers is simply too heavy, so they choose not to enter the stage at all. Psychological ownership adds another dimension to why some people stay quiet online. This connects directly to the earlier tension between living to post and living to feel. It is the inner sense that a moment, memory, or thought truly belongs to you. Once an experience is uploaded, it instantly becomes part of a shared arena where anyone can watch, judge, comment, or mock. The private feeling of this is mine is weakened, because the moment no longer lives only inside the person who lived it. Quiet individuals are highly sensitive to this loss. Many knew, as children, what it meant to have diaries read, secrets exposed, or stories ridiculed in front of others. Their boundaries were crossed before they had words for it. As adults, they guard their memories with care. Posting less is not a lack of stories, but a deliberate choice to keep each moment fully their own. The need to protect their inner world naturally connects to another challenge: the fear of being misunderstood and the constant pressure to present themselves correctly. Social media is a place where anything can be screenshot, shortened, or pulled out of context, creating distortions that spread quickly. This atmosphere produces a subtle but persistent sense of being watched, even when no one is paying real attention. A quiet anxiety forms. If I share this, will it be mocked, rejected, exaggerated, or ignored? For those who were laughed at, dismissed, or misinterpreted as children, this fear becomes much louder in adulthood. Silence becomes the safer path. It is not a rejection of connection, but a desire to be understood accurately rather than merely seen. This fear of being misunderstood naturally leads to another hidden force that shapes online behavior: the dopamine loop and the cycle of comparison. Each like, comment, or view releases dopamine, creating a fleeting sense of being noticed, valued, and seen. The brain quickly adapts to this stimulation and begins to crave it, feeling uneasy when a post receives less engagement than expected. Over time, people start viewing their lives through the question, will this get likes? Instead of, does this matter to me? Alongside dopamine comes the spiral of comparison. Individuals compare their messy backstage to the polished highlights of others, which triggers shame, inadequacy, and quiet self-doubt. This impact is especially sharp for sensitive individuals whose childhood experiences already weaken their sense of worth. Some people step out of this cycle entirely. Posting little is not indifference, but a conscious decision to protect their mental health and preserve their self-respect. As some individuals step away from the dopamine loop and constant comparison, they begin to discover a different kind of freedom, the quiet freedom of doing things for themselves. Cooking becomes something to savor, not something to photograph. Trips become moments to fully inhabit, not content to harvest for an unseen audience. Small moments like laughter, tears, or deep conversations stay between the people present, untouched by the pressure to document. This silent freedom brings a rare lightness. There is no need to watch life from the outside through a screen. For those who were once told to hide their feelings or soften their sensitivity from childhood, living without explanation becomes a form of healing. For the first time, a moment can stay a moment, not evidence of being fine for others to evaluate. This quieter way of living naturally reveals another trait often overlooked from the outside: a rich inner world supported by deep observation. People who rarely post tend to feel life with unusual precision. They notice light shifting across a wall, the brief flicker in someone's eyes, the pause that changes the tone of a conversation. They record life through memory, sensation, and reflection rather than stories and photos. Because they are not distracted by documenting moments, they inhabit them more fully and absorb them more intensely. Many learn this attention early. They were the children who had to monitor the moods of adults to know whether the household would be calm or explosive. That vigilance, once a survival skill, has matured into perceptive awareness. From the outside, they may appear mysterious or distant, but in truth, they simply live on a deeper layer that asks for no audience. This deeper inner life naturally begins to reshape how they understand connection itself. When they stop posting, something unexpected happens. People who interacted only through likes, reactions, or quick comments slowly fade from view. Meanwhile, a smaller group continues to reach out through messages, calls, invitations, and genuine check-ins, even without any online signal to remind them. This shift quietly filters relationships. It becomes clear who is present for them, and who was present only for their content. For someone who once felt invisible even inside a crowded family, discovering that a person remembers them without digital cues feels deeply healing. They start valuing conversations that happen face to face, shared moments without cameras, and the simple comfort of being together in silence. Over time, connection transforms from seeing each other online to truly being part of each other's lives. As their understanding of real connection deepens, another truth becomes clearer. Privacy is not the same as loneliness. The online world often confuses not posting with disappearing, and not sharing with having no life at all. In reality, privacy becomes an intimate space where they can think, feel, stumble, succeed, and rest without performing. When outside noise fades, the inner voice becomes easier to hear, revealing genuine desires, fears, and limits. For those who grew up without boundaries, whose private moments were watched or commented on, creating a private zone in adulthood is an essential step toward reclaiming a separate self. There are moments of doubt, of wondering whether silence means fading from others' minds. But gradually they learn that their worth does not vanish when unseen. It remains steady, like the quiet air after a passing storm. As the meaning of privacy settles deeper, the final layer of online silence begins to reveal itself. The familiar joke that, if it is not posted, it did not happen may sound light, but it does not reflect the reality of inner life. The moments that shape a person most profoundly often unfold in quiet, sleepless nights, private decisions, forgiveness offered in secret, the breaking and mending that no one else witnesses. For those carrying echoes of childhood pain, silence may start as protection, a way to avoid further hurt. But over time, it can become a conscious choice, a way to safeguard the most sacred parts of themselves. Not posting does not signal emptiness. It is another way of saying, I allow myself to exist without an audience. In a world obsessed with visibility and numbers, those who do not post become a quiet reminder that meaning is not measured by how many people see, but by how deeply one inhabits their own life. In the end, we were not born to be performances for others to consume, but full human beings with memories, wounds, choices, and the capacity to heal, whether anyone is watching or not.